Hi guys, I'm just going to wait for a few people to jump on and then we'll get started. I know I'm a couple minutes late. Okay, I can see people starting to jump online. Can everyone hear me okay? And see me okay? Yay, okay, people are starting to jump on. Can people let me know if you can hear me okay? I've got my earphones plugged in and one of them's lost a little doodad. So let me know who's watching. Why can't I see? Beautiful, thanks Amanda. For some reason, I'm in Google Chrome on my actual computer as opposed to my phone. On your phone, it tells you who's watching. So I will apologise in advance if I sound rude because I can see the number of people watching, but I can't see who you are. Normally I can. Just make sure that there's no one. Okay. Cool. Okay, so tonight is going to be around manage. Oh, look, there's people wanting access now. We're going to chat about managing your moods. I feel like a bit of a weirdo. I have this big thing on, but I actually don't feel like I've dressed appropriately for a recorded video. The joys. So yay, welcome everyone who just joined on. Please pop a comment in the box and let me know who you are and who's watching. I can't actually for some reason see. Maybe if I make my screen bigger. I think I'm dreaming. It'll let me see who's online. All I can see is the number of people watching. It won't let me. Won't let me see. Okay, so we are going to chat about managing your moods. Hi, Grace. Beautiful, thank you, because I have no idea who's watching. So we're going to chat about managing your moods. Now, I spent heaps of my day researching, so I'll try not to be a bit wafty. I'll try not to verge off into tangents. What I do want to chat to you about is 4 really beautiful oils and some others. So we're going to largely talk about the mood management kit. We're also going to talk about how to use your oils, how to apply them for particular benefits. And we're just going to chat about oils generally as well, because I know there's some newbies watching. I've got some other really nice goodies that I wanted to talk about, and I've got, you can't actually see, well, I've got oils in the park. I've got piles of oil sitting next to me. Hi, Kay. Yay. Kayla, I was only chatting about you yesterday, and we were wondering how your pregnancy was going. Time is coming up very fast. So what I am going to read to you, because I'm no expert, and I'm hoping that you can see me because I'm just changing my screen. Let me make this smaller. There we go. I'll make this screen smaller. Okay, so what we know is that essential oils don't just smell nice, right? So I think when people kind of think about essential oils, we think about things like candles, oil burners. If you're like me, I probably have 5 oil burners around my house. And so we think of oils in a very traditional sense in terms of the smell and the aroma, and that they make our house smell nice. And essential oils are so much more than that. So we'll kind of put that cat out of the bag to start with, which is really nice. So for those of you jumping on, please let me know who you are and that you're watching, because I can't actually see the names of the people watching, whereas normally you can. And I'd love to know who's watching so we can interact. So please ask questions as I'm going, and if you have something particular that you would like to know around moods, please pop it in the comments, because we can talk about it as we go. So, you know, obviously when we smell an oil, and there's a couple of ways that we can use our oils to support us. You know, we smell the aroma, and firstly, the first thing you smell in all blends is the citrus element. So you might have 3 different oils in your blend. And if you have a citrus in it, that's the immediate first thing you smell. And so, but it's also the first thing that kind of dissipates. So like when you're making a perfume, for example, I have a really beautiful perfume that I wear myself that I've made with Whisper, which is our women's blend. It's a very musky smell, and I always add grapefruit. And so when you open this and when you apply it to your skin, the immediate smell is grapefruit. And then that kind of fades away, and you can more smell the musky Whisper, but the grapefruit is there in a softer kind of scent. And so I wanted to read to you some information from doTERRA. Now, we have a lot of sciencey kind of stuff, I guess, if you like, that comes out. So if you are into that sort of thing, and I have, you know, a lot of the big words don't mean much to me, but I'm slowly getting there. Yeah, me too, Kay. I love it. Oh no, Nikki, I wonder if it's your internet, honey. That's what happens when you live in the bush. Do you have broadband? Let me know if is anyone else having connection problems? Nikki's saying she is. I'm on my computer, so whether that, as opposed to my phone, like whether it's the image is the image fine? And now doTERRA have a really beautiful wheel, and I think I shared this the other day, and what it does is it talks about all the different kind of constituents, I think is the right word. So things like, and they're categorized. So we've got like our alcohols, our esters, our monoterpenes, our ketones, our words that I cannot even pronounce. And then within each group, so within the alcohols group, you know, there's things like linalool, terpenen, like things I can't pronounce. In the ketones, there's things like our menthol, our menthanine, our carvone, our monoterpenes. We've got our limonene. You know, so they're kind of the chemical constituents that make up these oils. And so what we know is that one essential oil, so lavender, for example, is a linalool. And so what we know is that each essential oil has a percentage of kind of each constituent, not each, but the parts that make up that oil. And so some of them are much higher than others, and so they yield different physical and emotional benefits. So you'll see some information being shared coming up around our new oils, and Siberian fir is one of them. And actually, when you compare Siberian fir to white fir, which is the oil that it's essentially replacing, due to sustainable and ethical sourcing reasons, Siberian fir, when you compare the kind of chemical constituents that make up those two oils, Siberian fir in most of the parts are much higher in each property. And so what that means is that is a much more potent oil, and it will yield much higher benefits. Yeah, Nikki, maybe because you live in Bucka, your service is not fab. This will record too, honey. So if you find that it's too much, let me know. I don't think you can turn off the video and just listen. Although you probably don't want to listen to my voice. Anyway, so, you know, have you ever wondered why a simple smell can provoke a strong emotion or trigger a specific memory? So, you know, for me, when I smell lavender, it reminds me of my grandma. It reminds me of her drawers. And, you know, she used to have like those little, I think probably all of our nanas did, had like those little sewn cotton sachets of potpourri and lavender and things. And she used to have them hanging in her closet. And so when I smell lavender, that's kind of the memory that invokes for me. And so, you know, many of these oils kind of a representative of that. I'm also a bit bright because I've got a couple of lights on. So essential oils are a mixture of volatile aromatic compounds. So the compounds are able to interact with our olfactory receptors in our nose, and our sense of smell can have a profound effect on our emotions. So simply inhaling the aroma of an essential oil can elicit an emotional response. So the cell receptors are located on the upper surface of our nasal cavity, and they make direct links with our limbic system of the brain, which is where scent is perceived and processed. And so it's not just a nice smelling oil, right? It gets processed in our brain, and it's affected by the same part of the brain around our memory. And now I'm going to open up something because I wrote something really... Where did I put that? Gosh. Does anyone else just have so many windows and things open that sometimes it's like you cannot find what you're bloody looking for? Just wanted to read. So here it is. Okay, so I wrote this the other day for a beautiful ebook that I wrote actually for Nikki, who's watching. She runs a lovely program for tired mamas. And so with each unique chemical structure, each essential oil holds a variety of benefits for each of us. Now that will be different from person to person. So some essential oils hold a soothing, toning and grounding property. Others are energizing, uplifting, warming or renewing. So we're going to talk about a couple from each of those. And so as our bodies go through an array of emotions and physical states throughout a single day, essential oils can help us maintain and manage our well-being. They also provide practical support for our physical needs. So we were talking about the limbic part of the brain. So obviously when we smell the aroma of an essential oil, so our limbic system in our brain is the same part of the brain where our emotions and memories live. So obviously because the same part of the brain is processing that information, it has that direct relationship. So we are also able to kind of tap into our memories and use smell to trigger a memory. So if we want to tap into a certain state of being, for example, so if we were studying or we were wanting to reach a goal, you can kind of choose some oils, kind of in an aromatic anchoring way, to center yourself into that state of being. What is that going to be like when you achieve that? And when you smell the aroma, that takes you to that place. And so there's some really beautiful, kind of amazing emotional ways to use these oils. And so the responses triggered when we smell these oils can be emotional responses that are obviously calming or uplifting, depending on the chemical structure of each oil. But that will be based on our own individual experience. And so, funnily enough, when when I talk to people about essential oils, one of the most common things that people say to me is that I'm just closing all my windows down, put my full undivided attention now, and I get to look at myself, fabulous, is that they hate lavender. And I know when I first started using these oils, I had a bit of a similar view, right? And I was like, oh, God, do I need to buy lavender? It stinks. And then I smelt lavender. It's in my son's room. And I know lavender is my only bottle of oil. Lavender and lavender peace. It just leaks. So I'll just wipe it on myself. Now, our lavender oil is produced in Bulgaria. So it's Bulgaria lavender. And it smells nothing like potpourri. It smells nothing like old lady lavender, if that's what you call it. And so I would suggest that you be open to smelling these oils because they are pure and potent. There are no synthetic fillers or toppers. They will smell quite different to what you're used to smelling in terms of an essential oil. I have a lot of people say, we're patchouli or sandalwood or bergamot, and then they smell these and they're like, oh, or frankincense, actually, that's a really common one. It doesn't smell anything like frankincense incense that you often smell in shops. So, because it's pure. I think this is going to happen. I'm going to have people wanting to request to jump on. Okay, so what we are going to talk about is 4 really beautiful oils to help you manage your moods. Now, there's lots of oils that you can use. What I love about these 4 oils is, one, they come in a little kit, and so it's a cost-effective way of purchasing oils. They're actually the second most group of oils that I use apart from my Home Essentials kit oils. And they're really common and you can use them for lots of different things. So they are each made up of, so they're each blends. Now, when we kind of look to oils that are calming and soothing, so things like lavender obviously is number 1. Now, we know that when you inhale lavender, so lavender is a really common oil used to support people through things like depression, postnatal depression, any of those types of disorders, because it really helps to calm your state. It really helps to regulate those emotions and feelings and to promote feelings of being calm, being supported, slower breathing, which is all part of that. Funnily enough, I actually feel myself slowing down, probably because I've wiped lavender all over my neck. And I'm a person that's very much kind of always, you know, buffering up here at these levels. And so I really love, I use the calming, soothing, grounding oils more than anything. I do like the energizing and uplifting oils, but they're not oils that I'm immediately drawn to. Whatever goes, right? Now, some people will tell you that the oils you smell and you don't like, you need. Some people will tell you that the oils you smell and don't like, you don't need. Now, Dr. Hill, who is our kind of resident chief medical, he suggests that that's a bit of a load of baloney. And if you smell something and you don't resonate with it, always come back to it. And I've had that with one of these oils, and that's Elevation. Now, when I first bought these oils, I remember opening this thinking, holy Jesus, what am I going to use this for? Like, stinks. It's now one of my favorite. And so I wear this as perfume quite regularly. So it's a good segue into, we'll talk about it first. Now, Elevation is our joyful blend. It's a really beautiful, gentle oil. Now, it's made up of lots of things that I can't pronounce, so bear with me. So we've got lavandula, we've got Santalum paniculatum wood oil, Citrus reticulata peel oil, Melissa, I know Melissa, Cananga adultera flower oil. These are things that you've never heard of, people. Osmanthus, which is in quite a few blends that we have. Bacchausia citrioda leaf oil. So it's got quite an interesting aroma. And I know Amanda and Kayla, you've both got these oils, and I know Amanda, this was one of the first oils I gave her actually to try. So it's a really beautiful one that I like to kind of dab on my neck when I'm going to work. Now, this for me is an energizer. If I'm kind of a bit, you know, just a bit of a slump in the morning, I could inhale this. So one way to use them is just to inhale literally the bottle straight under your nose. Another really beautiful way to use oils is to put a drop in your hand. Rub the palms of your hands together, so never your fingers, the palms, rub them together and then cup them over your nose and take some deep breaths. I need some easier, my nose is a bit... And so that's a really beautiful way to inhale, because we obviously don't carry diffusers around. Kayla said she's still warming to it. Yeah, that was me, Kayla, when I first got it. Wait till you have baby number 3. You're going to be sniffing this like there's no tomorrow. That and your peppermint. And so it's it's definitely one that I took a bit of getting used to. Now I want to read you some information from our Emotions and Essential Oil book. And so this is a great book, and in fact I need to buy the next version because we've got some new oils that came out that are not in this, and there's some more new oils coming out, and I use this all the time. This book gives me proper names of oils: lavender, tangerine, elemi, lemon myrtle, melissa, ylang ylang. Now, it's got some really beautiful oils in here that are high vibrational. And so the beautiful thing about essential oils, obviously they can provide physical support, they can provide emotional support, they can raise your vibration. And if you are listening to that going, what the fuck is she talking about? So for example, this is a good example actually. I got a message this morning from someone saying, Could I give them either some resources, like suggest some resources to them? Look, I'm wearing this and you can still see my bra straps. Some resources to find some information around what oils are good for raising your vibration, because they are finding that they are surrounded by some real negativity in the workplace. And there's quite a few. Actually, I'll open them up because I sent them to her this morning. So what we know, I'll post this up. So essential oils have a vibrational frequency, as do we as humans, as do people. Some of you are going to think like this is a bit cuckoo. Plants, food, etc. Now, the vibrational frequency of a healthy human body is 62 to 68 megahertz. Now, and some of you may have this person in your life where their energy is infectious and their aura is infectious. And so they're that person that you're really drawn to and you want to spend heaps of time with them, because when you're with them, they make you feel amazing. So when you're with them, your own vibration lifts. And so when we spend time gossiping and bitching, we are raising our own vibration. When we rise above that, we raise and lift our vibration. And so, one of the things I wrote back to this person and said was, here's some oils that you can use to help you. But one of the things you need to do is to not engage in this negativity. Now, my thing is binging. I'll just make sure no one else is wanting to get in here. Okay. I might close it off. Because you're going to naturally bring your own vibe down. And we know when we're around negative people or negative kind of just stuff, we kind of feel a bit yuck, right? And so we have to really walk away from that or rise above it, or actually go and intervene and say, guys, this bitching or whatever it is that's going on, it's not healthy for anyone. And it's that whole, if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. And if you can't speak up to somebody, what's the point of talking about them behind their back? It's not healthy. So, we all have a vibration, and we want to be vibrating at a really high level, because what we know in terms of the law of attraction is that what we put out into the energy comes back to us. And so if we are for those of us who are on a path of kind of self-discovery and personal development, we want to really be working to be raising our vibration every day. Now, for me personally, I've been on that journey for many, many years now, and I use oils. In fact, I rub them here and around my neck each morning to raise my vibration. And one of the oils I'm super excited about that is coming out in October is rose. Now, rose is the highest vibrational oil that you can find. Now, doTERRA do not sell pure rose oil because we cannot ethically and sustainably source rose oil or roses to make the rose oil to sell it as a stock standard shelf item. It would cost around $400 to $500 for a 5 ml bottle, and they are releasing a touch roller, so a pre-diluted touch roller of rose, and I think from memory it was around 90 something US dollars. So I think Amanda and I worked out today that would be around 120 something, which is really cheap. And that's a perfume, right? Rose is the ultimate perfume. And Nikki's saying everything in life is vibration. Albert Einstein, the law of nature that states everything has a vibration. Absolutely. Yep. Okay. Yep. So some beautiful oils. We're getting a bit off track in terms of mood, but this is what happens, right? Now, Cancer vibrates at 42 megahertz. Tissue breakdown from disease at 45 megahertz. Viral infection at 55 megahertz. Flu-like symptoms at 58 megahertz. And disease begins at 59 to 60, and a healthy human body is 62 to 68. So keep the numbers in mind. Healthy human body, 62 to 68 megahertz. Now we've got organs like the heart that vibrates at 67 to 70. The stomach, which we know is our second brain, is 58 to 60 megahertz. The brain is the highest organ naturally, vibrates at 70 to 78 megahertz. Now they don't sound like big numbers, do they? So I'm going to blow your mind. Melissa essential oil vibrates at 102 megahertz, so above the human brain. Lavender essential oil vibrates at 118 megahertz. Like, guys, that's $25 a bottle. Like, how lucky are we? Frankincense essential oil is 147 megahertz. And then rose essential oil is 320 megahertz. No brainer. I'm going to be dousing rose on me every goddamn day, right? Beautiful to rub over your heart. So for people who are thinking, why would I spend $127 on a rose touch roller? That's why. That is why you need rose in your life. So the other really beautiful oil is helichrysum, and that vibrates at 181 megahertz. Now, helichrysum and Melissa are two of our, actually I think Melissa is the most expensive oil we sell. It's 167, I think, for a 5 ml bottle. Helichrysum, I can't remember, but it's under, I think it's 100-ish. And so I'm really excited that we're going to have rose oil because that potential power is amazing. I will share this little image up in below. So the way that I use my frankincense, so frankincense is a really amazing oil for cellular support and immune support. Now, for those of you who are quite new to doTERRA, sometimes might be wondering, like, what is this language that we speak? We cannot claim to cure or treat because these are plant natural products. So they're not pharmaceuticals, they're not medicine. They, you know, we are very tightly bound by being compliant in how we speak. And so what I will say to you is that you may like to do some research of your own, and PubMed is a great website that you can go to, scholarly medical journal articles around essential oils and particular illnesses. So for example, you could go onto PubMed and type in the words frankincense essential oil and cancer, frankincense essential oil and I'm lost. Alzheimer's, that's what I'm thinking. And so there's lots of, and I'll start sharing some of these articles as well, but you can go on and do some research of your own and read the most powerful, you know, stuff that's happening with these oils. If you've ever got anyone that is experiencing an illness and you were a generous person, frankincense oil would be a really beautiful one to gift them. My great aunt has this recurring, like a skin cancer thing on her leg. It's quite large. And my dad only said to me recently that she's having issues again. And I was like, I'm going to get her a frankincense roller and I'm going to send it to her and I'm going to tell her to apply it on her leg daily. And we're just going to see what happens. And frankincense is an amazing brain oil. So for focus, brain fog, you know, any kind of illness or issue that people are suffering that is affected in the brain, frankincense is an amazing oil for them to be using. Now, I would recommend that you take this internally if you don't feel comfortable doing that, that is fine. You can apply it to your body. So I literally put a drop in my mouth, and so I generally put the bottle on my thumb, and then I rub it on the roof of my mouth. Now, it doesn't taste great, guys, but it has the most amazing benefits. You could take it in a capsule. Oh, there you go, Amanda. Thank you, darling. Amanda's saying helichrysum is $135. So I'm talking wholesale prices. I never talk retail because I don't let anyone purchase retail because you'd be crazy. And in fact, helichrysum is $180 retail. So you could buy a bottle of helichrysum at the wholesale price plus purchase an account, and you would already be saving money. Melissa. Oh, there you go. It's $200. I swear I looked that up this morning. Melissa is $233 wholesale and $310 retail. So that's why, like, when people want to know, you know, why some of these oils are expensive, one, because of the way we ethically and sustainably source them. Frankincense, for example, we pay our farmers 10 times what any other company does. So there's no slave labor for us when we work with third world countries to source plant extracts. Now, doTERRA, as we know, only source from the place where each plant thrives most or is indigenous to, which yields a really super powerful, potent essential oil. Anyway, we've totally got off topic. That would explain why mind power is so powerful and can affect your health in so many aspects of your life. Absolutely, Kayla. You know, like I was only saying to someone the other day, this kind of era that we are in is a really exciting time. We really have the power to change our lives. We have the power to change our future. And so, and it's something I'm working on. You know, building a business is not, it's not something that just comes to you. You know, it's not like people don't just flock to you. You've got to go out there. You've got to put yourself out there. You've got to put energy, because energy out equals energy in. And if I was to walk around all day, every day, saying things like, I'm broke, I'm ugly, I hate myself, I can never pay my bills, and if that was what I was putting out, guess what happens? I just keep getting more bills. They just keep coming, just random things. Like you get a fine in the mail, and then your power bill shows up, and then they realize they've not charged you more, so it comes back again. Like they just keep coming. But if we can start shifting our thoughts, raising our vibration, getting rid of the toxicity, the negativity, you know, talk lovingly and openly and positive about ourselves and other people, I can pay my bills. I can get out of debt. It's challenging, but I can do it. I'm beautiful, I'm loved, I'm worthy. All these things, they raise our vibration. And so journaling is a really great way to raise your vibration when you're in that slump and you kind of like can't get out of it. I like to sit and get my journal out, and whatever that shit is that's in your head, because that's what it is. It's your inner critic, your ego, your mean girl, whatever, telling you that you are these things. And we choose to let the stories take over. So if we can choose to not let the stories take over, we can journal them out. You know, I'm not worthy of this, and I'm not worthy of that, and I'm not good enough, and I can't do that. No one will listen to me. No one will register to my mood online class. Who wants to listen to me? Like, you know, they're the thoughts that sometimes go on in our heads. And if we choose to listen to them, we don't show up. We go, nah, don't worry about it. But when we do show up, this is what happens. You know, beautiful people like yourselves log on and want to listen to you and engage with you, and it's amazing. So, you know, this kind of, the way we think really does affect our lives. I was only saying to my coach, I have a mindset coach and have had one now for a couple of years, and she's beautiful. I was only saying to her the other day, you know, we're kind of uncovering little blocks as we go along, as we just, you know, they're constant. It's a part of life. I said, you know what? Like, a few months ago, I feel like I would do something and then half an hour later I'd be like, oh shit, what did I do that for? Like, why did I say that? Or why did I think that, you know? So normally it would be like immediately I'd do something and say something, like I'd say, oh, we can't afford that, or I need to do this. And then I'd catch myself going, oh shit, you know, I thought I had tapped into that. And now I'm at the point where I think it and I stop myself. And in fact, the other day I was standing at the kitchen sink. I can't even remember what it was, but a thought popped into my head and I immediately went, hang on a minute, that's crazy town. That's not true. And if I think this, I'm going to get this. So we need to shift those thought patterns. And so it's actually quite, you know, it's work. It's work that we have to do on ourselves, but it's really, really powerful. And I can tell you in the last couple of days, the things that have flowed for me and the things that have entered my world and entered into my life, and the people that have connected with me and the people that have contacted me and sent me loving messages and showed me what they're doing with their oils. And Kayla, you're one of those. That amazing post that you put on your, you know, Facebook the other night, like, that is why I am here. That is, like, it is so beautiful. And, you know, we have to be open to receiving it. And my coach always says to me, if we shut down things, and the biggest thing is relationships, if we shut down our relationships, so if we say to someone, no, I'm not beautiful, you know, or yeah, thanks for that, but I don't agree, you know, don't tell me you love me all the time. Or so as soon as we block something in our relationships with our partner or our friends, we're actually blocking abundance. We're blocking financial abundance. And so we've got to be really, really open to this stuff. And so that is where essential oils can really help us. So frankincense for me, in terms of raising vibration, is one of the main oils I use. That is partly because I don't have Melissa. Now, helichrysum is a really amazing oil for pain, for supporting pain. Melissa will be on my list. It will be an oil that I get. But I'm most excited about getting rose and just lathering myself in that. So frankincense to use to raise your vibration, you know, apply it to your forehead. Amazing when meditating or any type of spiritual, like if you're journaling, you know, yoga, anything that's kind of really expanding your kind of mindset and opening up, this is a great one. So applying it here, temples. For those of you who have Salubel, and Kayla, I can't remember if you have Salubel. Salubel has some of the highest vibrational oils in this, and this is actually the oil of spiritual insight. I'm going to claim. I think that's what it is. Anti-aging. It's not called the anti-aging blend either. What's it called? Beauty blend. The oil of spiritual insight. I was close. Fosters inner stillness, encourages spiritual growth, quietens the mind. It combines the power of high vibrational oils alongside grounding oils to assist the connection between spirit, body, heaven, and earth. It encourages positive states of being and supports the development of faith, hope, gratitude, kindness, love, patience, and trust in the divine. This is a really beautiful oil. So I've got mine diluted, and I often, you know, I mean, I wear it pretty much every day anyway, but that's another one. If you're meditating, you can kind of put on your third eye. So this has rose in it. So this is the anti-aging oil, which is obviously amazing for your skin, for these fine lines, blemishes, beauty marks, spots, scars, wounds, anything. In fact, I've got this. I don't know, I took the skin off my knuckle the other day. I've been putting this on every day for the last 3 days. I'm not kidding. It's nearly healed. It's phenomenal. Oh, you missed out, Kayla. That's shocking. See, like it's so easy to use. Now this is made up of rose, helichrysum, myrrh, lavender, sandalwood, and frankincense. Like it's got the top, apart from Melissa, it's got the top 5 high vibrational oils in this. So if you wanted to raise your vibration specifically, Salubel all the way. So that's great. We'll get back to managing our moods, shall we? We've just totally talked about high vibrational oils. It's such an interesting topic, and I'm really interested to delve into it more. I'm going to a emotions class next month, in a couple of weeks, with Amanda. Actually, we're going to Brisbane. Emily Wright, one of our CEOs, is coming to Australia from the US. So she's going to Brisbane, Melbourne, and Adelaide, I think, not Sydney for some reason. And so there's some other talks either side of that. And so I'm really excited to go to that class to just, see what else is out there. It's really exciting. And it says, yay, yay. Kayla, I've also got a fair bit of Salubel here. So if you wanted to snavel a bit to make a roller, chat to me, because we can tee something up. I have enough for like the next 2 years for myself. Now, elevation, the joyful blend. Now, if we're talking managing moods, the best way to use essential oils is to inhale. So using your diffuser. So depending on obviously the circumference of your house, how open plan it is. For a bedroom, you only want, like 4 to 6 drops. If you're in a really open space like this, and in fact, this area opens up into our kitchen and then our living room and then another living room. And so I find I have to use quite a few drops. I tend to have a diffuser on my desk here. And then I have one in the kitchen that just sits above my son's playroom, which I often have things like On Guard and Easy Air going. So elevation is a great one to pop in your hand and inhale. In fact, it's a really nice oil to massage. Does anyone not know what an aromatic dressing is? So when we apply essential oils topically to our skin, we should dilute them. I say that because what a carrier oil does, kind of obviously, it carries the essential oil into the skin. So what, when you spray like a perfume or something on you, don't, because they're toxic. But anyway, we know that that's what, we've typically historically done. They evaporate off after a period of time. So you can only smell them for a short period of time. I tell you what, my husband got takeaway for dinner tonight, and yes, Nikki, of course. She just texted me saying, can I bring my emotions book? So I'm just applying some Digestin on my tummy because we had takeaway and it was from a place we've never eaten before. We just wanted to try it. It's a little place very close to our house. And it was nice, but it was super sweet. And yeah, anyway, I've got a bit of a gut ache. So you can dab literally straight on your skin. That's generally how I use my elevation because I don't have a roller. It's great to make them up into rollers so that they're pre-diluted, but you can aromatically dress yourself. So a couple of drops, no more than 5, in your hand with some coconut oil, almond oil, apricot kernel oil, grapeseed oil. You can use a cream if you've got a really nice body, organic natural cream that's unscented. You can use that as well. And I have a really nice organic I've got Eco Sonia in my head. Is that what they're called? I think so. A really nice coconut body cream that I sometimes use, particularly for my legs and my lower back and stuff. And literally massage that in. So massage that in. A poor man's massage is my arms, my chest, my neck, always over your heart, up here. if you have time, do your whole body. So from your legs up your body. And when you do that, the trick is to repeat affirmations. So repeating affirmations that you love your legs because they carry you every day when you walk around and when you hold your children and when you get from A to B and when you buy your groceries. You know, that you love your belly, that you love your back, you love your arms and your breasts and your chest and, you know, all those parts of your bodies, particularly those ones that we have a bit of not so self-love for. That's a really beautiful way to start your day, one, to raise your vibration. But those oils will carry in your body throughout the day. They will slowly release. And so that smell, you will continue to inhale that. You'll also yield the physical benefits of that because it's penetrating into your skin and through your body, which is really, really beautiful. So elevation is a really nice kind of invigorating, elevating, uplifting scent. I personally don't diffuse it a lot, but you can definitely diffuse it. Yes, Vanessa Jean has a great YouTube video of aromatic dressing, and I know my very first essential oil class I went to, the beautiful lady did it, and it was so lovely. It was so, so lovely. So look Vanessa Jean up, and in fact, so she's a presidential diamond here in Australia, so she's the highest level rank. Her and her husband, Paul, they're both really beautiful, and she has like so many recipes. And in fact, I'll tell you something really exciting. Vanessa Jean and another lady, and Amanda, this is the lady that you went to the emotions class with in Queensland. Vanessa Jean and what is this lady's name? I can't remember. They are releasing an emotions kit. So stickers, labels for rollerballs. So they're releasing a make and take class. So for people like me who run essential oil classes, but what it means is that you can purchase them and you can make up the specific blends that they've got in your own rollerballs at home. So when they are released, for those of you who are already on my oil team, we'll do a bit of a bulk purchase because I know everyone's going to love them. And for those of you who are not yet on my team, when you join, you can snuggle them as well. And so that's a really nice way. So Elevation, for example, is a really nice oil to diffuse with frankincense. So maybe this is what you need to try, Kayla. If this you haven't loved this, try blending it with some other oils. So if it's the particular scent that you don't like, try adding a citrus oil with it, because citrus, as I say, is that immediate smell that you get first. The other is to add a more grounding oil. Because it's energizing and uplifting, you don't want to knock it down too much. With something like frankincense, you can add to anything and it will just up-level it, but it really knocks it down a peg. So that's a really nice one. And when I do my own aromatic dressings, I pretty much always use frankincense. So I use frankincense with a particular blend. So I often use frankincense and grapefruit. I often use frankincense and citrus bliss, which we'll talk about. I often use frankincense, balance, and wild orange. Frankincense, lavender, and wild orange is Vanessa Jean's signature aromatic dressing recipe, and I posted that up recently. That's one of my faves as well. You can obviously just use any oils that you like. Lavender Peace is really nice, particularly when you're going to bed. So that's really beautiful as well. Now, some other energizing essential oils are peppermint and spearmint. I've written myself some really beautiful notes, so I didn't forget. So peppermint and spearmint. Now, peppermint is a real alerter. Like, it keeps you alert, it keeps you awake. And it's a great one to inhale if, like, you're traveling, you just really need that crisp. Amanda Porter. Possibly. Her name doesn't sound familiar, but it could be. I know she's, I can't think of her husband, but I know she's his wife. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But yeah, they are releasing a really cool, some kind of blends and labels and stuff, which is it's really exciting. So peppermint or spearmint. So peppermint is a great one to use in the morning when you're wanting to keep awake. So if you're finding your mood is really flat and lull, and if elevation doesn't do it for you, try peppermint. And in fact, you could try adding some peppermint to elevation. Peppermint might take that scent. If it's the scent that is kind of you're not drawn to, then you could try adding a little bit of peppermint or spearmint to it. Peppermint is really crisp and clean. I love using peppermint and orange or peppermint and lemon. And lots of people use Citrus Bliss, which we'll talk about next, with peppermint. So that's a really beautiful morning energizer. So Citrus Bliss is our invigorating blend. I will deter to my beautiful, look, I marked these and everything, and like, I don't know why I bother sometimes. I'm interested to know, do people like Facebook Lives? Would you prefer to be part of a class where you were also on a webcam? So for those of you who have used Zoom or Meet Me or Vimeo, you can't. I tried YouTube Live the other day. That was an epic failure. Nobody could comment for some reason, and so I just came back to using this one. So I'm interested for your thoughts, whether you just like watching and listening. I know when I participate in calls, I still feel engaged because I get to comment, but I'm interested to hear your thoughts. So our Citrus Bliss, which has some really divine oils. It's actually taken me a while to get used to this, probably because I bought grapefruit really early on in my oil journey, and I love it so much that then I didn't feel I needed this. So this is a really beautiful blend of orange, can't even read, orange, lemon, grapefruit, mandarin, bergamot, tangerine, clementine, and vanilla. So it's got really beautiful oils in there. The only oil that we in here do not stock and sell is clementine and vanilla. So tangerine has just been released as an oil. So there's some really beautiful citrus oils that we sell, but tangerine has just recently been released. So that's a really beautiful combination. I really like, this is my smell good oil. You know, if I want to diffuse something because I've got people coming and I want it to smell fresh. So this is kind of my candle replacement, one of. I love to just diffuse this. I love to pop this around my house. I agree, Kayla. I like sitting in my pajamas too. I'm in my run. I'm in, like, you know, gym gear, like I'm in tights and a singlet, for God's sakes. Lost. Oh yeah, I like to put it on cotton wool balls around my house, put one drop in. You can use I use my old candle containers and put paper towel in them, scrunch it up, and then pop a couple of drops like in my bathrooms and toilets. That's a really nice way to use that. To use it to enhance your mood. So as our invigorating blend, it is going to invigorate your senses. It's going to, for me, it kind of gives me a bit of bounce, gives me a bit of excitement. Going back to peppermint, peppermint oil is the oil of a buoyant heart. And when you inhale peppermint, it's makes you really step back because it really opens up your airways. And so this has got just some really beautiful divine citrus oils. And we know that citrus oils are beautiful, that they smell nice, They're uplifting. They make you feel good. They make you feel happy and excited. And just that really like loosey, you know, kind of shake it off. That's kind of what this does for me. So this is a lovely one to inhale under your nose, just to hold the bottle, inhale, put a couple of drops in your hand. In fact, I have a spray bottle. I have a spray bottle of this in my car. So if I'm going somewhere and I'm feeling a bit, normally it's swimming lessons on a Thursday after I've been at work for 3 days. Thursdays we kind of try to take it a bit slow in the morning. No longer because I'm now working an extra day, but I quite often spritz it over myself. Or if I'm just feeling in a bit of a rush and I just need a bit of a kind of a wake up and a bit of cheerfulness, I give that a bit of a spritz over my face. So that's another really beautiful way to inhale oils, is to use a bit of a face, body or room mist, because you obviously can smell the oils. So this one is one of my favorites to dress myself in. So adding it into my moisturizing cream, you know, massaging it over my body. So the invigorating blend acts as a powerful fire starter. So it returns motivation and drive when it's lacking. It's a wonderful combination of oils for addressing lethargy, discouragement, despondency, or a low will to live. When the soul has lost its connection to the magic in life, this blend helps restore spark. One of you listening, your name is like, when I just read that out, you know who you are. Start using that. So it inspires creativity. It inspires creative expression. It assists individuals to live abundantly and spontaneously by encouraging play and excitement. More ways to raise your vibration. Now, wild orange is the oil of abundance. So that's a great oil to... the person that I was just talking about just sent me a message. That's a great oil. Wild orange is a great oil if you're working around your abundance and cultivating money and calling money into your life, calling abundance. And now abundance does not equal money. Abundance is all areas of your life, relationships, love, obviously money, career, everything. Like it's every aspect of your life. And so I don't know about you, but I want to be abundant in all areas of my life. I want to have thriving friendships with beautiful women who are like-minded, that we're on the same page, that we want to have high vibrational life experiences. We want to live our true desires. We don't want to talk shit about other people. I want to have a thriving relationship with my husband and my son, my children coming. Not yet. Don't panic. You know, I want to have a fulfilling career and I want to do something that I love that really sparks me and ignites me. Essential oils. You know it. You know, I want to get up and feel alive. Like that's abundance, right? Not waking up every day thinking, oh my God, I woke up another day. Getting there is part of the journey. And so that is how we can really use these essential oils. I feel like this talk is not even about mood management, guys. I'm sorry about that. We've just kind of really delved into a whole other arena, but that's naturally where we've gone. So citrus bliss, wild orange, really beautiful for that sort of thing. This blend can motivate individuals to use your true creative power, let go of old limitations and insecurities. Placed over the solar plexus, this combination of oils restores confidence in oneself and one's creations. Invigorating blend rekindles the fire in the personality and fills the heart with creativity and joy. Now, the beautiful thing about this essential oils book, Essential Oils and Emotions book, is that it talks about the negative and the positive properties for the oils from an emotional perspective. So the positive properties invigorated, childlike, creative, motivated, cheerful, spontaneous. The negative oil, the negative emotions, stifled, blocked, fear, emotionally imbalanced, low will to live. So, you know, you can look at the negative emotions, and if they're things that you're experiencing, then that's the oil for you to use to switch that. And that's a really great way to support that is through journaling. So writing out what your current state is. I am blah, blah. I release whatever it is. And then rewrite that. So, you know, if your current thought is that I'm unable to get out of debt or I'm unattractive, then you've got to let go and release those emotions. I am attractive. I am loved. I am worthy of love. I am beautiful. I love everything about myself. So when we talk about ourselves in a different way, like that just made me feel really beautiful, just saying that. When we say things like, I can't get out of debt, I can't pay my bills, but when we say, I paid my bills on time, I always have enough money to pay my bills, I have more than enough money, my incoming is more than my outgoings, I'm worthy of abundance, those things instantly, they almost make your shoulders go up and back. But those lower vibrational discussions and thoughts just make you really like, and so that's where your elevation and your citrus bliss, you can use your frankincense to really help you support to lift out of those. Is this making sense? Is this making any sense at all? This is not even what I'd planned to talk about. So I'm interested to hear your thoughts. Now, some other uplifting oils. So peppermint and spearmint are energizing. So they give you that oomph to keep going. Uplifting oils are uplifting your mood. So lime, lemon, grapefruit, orange, bergamot, all the citrus rains, tangerine will be in there now. Bergamot is a really beautiful oil. It's a really beautiful oil to support with your mood management. So if you are thinking about what oils to purchase next, bergamot is a really great one to have. Bergamot is great to wear as a perfume with other oils. I love making blends with bergamot. In fact, I made, at the recent convention, doTERRA gifted every person that attended a roller. It was called a Be Beautiful You roller. The conference was all about you, like the YOU. And it had lime, bergamot, frankincense, and osmanthus. So I made myself a roller with lime, bergamot, frankincense. I don't have any osmanthus. Osmanthus is in a couple of oils, but we don't sell it on its own. And even just the frank, lime, and bergamot on its own was really divine. Bergamot is also in our Hope roller, which is the oil roller. All the proceeds go to Operation Underground Railroad, the organisation that aims to stop the sex trafficking of children. So that's a really beautiful oil that I would recommend you add to an order. It's like $20. It's super cheap and it's so beautiful. I wear it as perfume all the time. And in fact, it's the one oil when I wear, people stop me and say, what are you wearing that is divine? And it makes me feel really, it's called Hope for a reason. And I think because I know the heart and soul of the oil in terms of who it supports, it makes me feel really special when I wear it. So I love wearing it. It's in my purse all the time. So any of the citrus oils will also be really uplifting for your mood. So when you're down in a funk, flat, depressed, just really struggling to get out, you want to be using oils, one, to raise your vibration, so like your frank, your rose when you buy that, You want to be using your uplifting oils. So if you're laying in bed and you're feeling really flat and you can't get out of bed, probably diffusing citrus bliss or some orange and lavender would be really amazing. So lavender is a really calming, cooling, soothing oil, but it's really supportive for people who suffer depression. Now, wild orange is uplifting because it's a citrus oil. It's actually a really beautiful oil for those who suffer anxiety. So quite often, it's a really nice idea to pair the two. And so if you think kind of about how and over time you'll develop this natural, so when I go to bed, I don't always diffuse like the bed oils. So I like diffusing orange at nighttime when I'm going to bed because it's really soothing for anxiety. And so if I've had a day where I'm a bit anxious or if I'm a bit heady, like up in my head, I like to just add 1 drop of orange, or I like to put it in my bath. And you can pair that with a really nice grounding, soft, calming oil. So you could add it with lavender, and then you could even add something like frankincense. You could add, in place of frankincense, something like vetiver, cedarwood, patchouli, any of those really kind of grounding, stabilizing oils. So you can play around, like you can just kind of have a play around. So calming, oils. One, if you're up here, you're stuck in your head. So when I get anxiety, and in fact, I don't think I even really knew what anxiety was until I had my son. I've always been a high-functioning, high-performing person, more in my work career life. And so, in prone to burnout, kind of go 100 miles an hour, long hours, not so much anymore, but certainly pre-having a baby, that was me. Always on the phone when I got home from work, always working from home, always working on the weekends, that sort of thing. One, that's not healthy. I wish I had oils at that point in my life. But those really calming oils will just really help to bring your mood back to base. And so pairing something like a really calming oil with a really grounding oil, that gives you a really nice kind of stabilizing your mood. So it's just going to really depend what your factors are and how you choose your oils. And over time, you will just kind of know that oil does that, and that's good for anxiety, that's calming, and you just kind of mix and match and you play around until you find something that works for you. So what works for me won't necessarily work for you, and what works for Amanda won't necessarily work for Kayla, and what works for Nikki won't necessarily work for Sarah, and vice versa. And that's okay, because it's about what smells work for us, and based on our memory, our smell memory, and our kind of experience with those smells and oils. So some other really beautiful calming oils. So lavender's the number one. For me, when I put a drop of lavender on my pillow, if I go to bed, some nights I'm in bed and I'm like, I can't sleep, I can't shut up my brain. You're thinking a million things you want to, and in fact, some nights I do a brain dump. And I don't know about you, but most nights my husband and I get into bed, kiss each other goodnight and roll over. And we sit there on our phones. He plays solitaire. I'm writing posts for the next day or doing all sorts of things, emails and whatever. And some nights I sit there and I open notes in my phone and I write out everything that's in my brain, like things that I feel I have to do. I might never look back at that note. In fact, normally I delete it. Some nights I go back to it, but I just get it out. Mindless scrolling on Facebook is so bad for us. So bad for us. Blue blockers. We're blue blockers. But those really calming oils help to quieten the mind. They just help to quieten our mind down. So obviously lavender. Clary sage is a real favourite of mine. I like to use clary sage in place of lavender. Clary sage hasn't the sweetness that lavender has it. And I often go to clary sage instead of lavender. I love to bathe in clary sage. It's a really beautiful oil for women who, it's a really beautiful oil for women around hormonal mood management, that time of the month, that sort of thing. Okay. Sorry, my computer was like flashing with all these messages. And so I love to mix clary sage and orange, clary sage and grapefruit I like doing. Clary sage on its own. What else do I mix it with? Chamomile. I love chamomile. I just use it a lot on its own. So I quite often, when you see a blend like a sleep diffuser blend, when it says lavender, you can replace it with clary sage. You can also replace it with spikenard. And particularly if you've got a hubby that hates lavender, spikenard is kind of a man's version of lavender without the floral smell. And so that's a good alternative as well. But clary sage is really beautiful. Clary sage is really supportive, obviously for that time of the month. So it's a lovely one to dress yourself in. It's not something you would use if you were pregnant until you are nearing your 40th week, because it does have properties that can induce labour. So Kayla, that's a great one for you to be using as you near your due date, and I can make you up a bit of a massage oil if you like. So clary sage is another really beautiful calming oil. Some other ones are obviously Roman chamomile. I love Roman chamomile. It's very potent. 1 drop in my diffuser is more than enough. And in fact, my sister-in-law purchased this and she put 2 drops in one night, and my little niece was like, oh my God, it's too strong, Mum. And so it's beautiful. I use Roman chamomile a lot in my son's like diaper creams and baby wipes and that sort of stuff. I like to use this in the bath with like clary sage. It's lovely. It is lovely in the diffuser, but it's just very potent. So that's another really calming oil. Obviously you can make up a nice massage blend. You can, pop it in your diffuser. Some people love heaps of frankincense. Personally, I can only handle 1 drop in the diffuser, and that's enough for my smell receptors. Jasmine. Jasmine's another really beautiful calming oil. That's another roller that is going to be available. I still have bloody things dinging. Anyone else, like when you signed in, your computer just like even though you don't have a browser open, it just still dings. It's so annoying. So jasmine's another really beautiful calming oil. Now, some stabilizing oils, so kind of grounding, earthy, really bringing you back to center, back to base. I like to describe them as the oils that make you feel like you're out in a forest with the fresh air, with the trees surrounding you. Really interestingly, on Friday, we went out bush to have a look at a property with my dad. He wants to buy a farm up here. He's got one out west, but it's 10 hours away. And I was still off work. I wasn't feeling very well, but I trucked along anyway. And we got out right at the end. My son was with us, and so 1-year-olds in the car all day doesn't fare very well. And we were just walking. My dad and my husband were walking around the property, and I just got out of the car and just sat on the grass with my son. There was a really nice kind of river dam thing, lots of trees. And my son he actually had his immunisations that morning, and so he was pretty off the wall. And we were sitting there, and I sat on the ground. I thought he'll just crawl around and, you know, exert some energy. And funnily enough, he just scurried up back to me and sat on me, kind of between my legs, leaned against me, and just looked up like at the trees and was just like, wow. You know, the birds were chirping, like, it was so beautiful. And my dad came back, and I was like, look at him. Like, you know, you take a kid out to the farm, to the stillness, to the quiet. I'm becoming still just thinking about it. My cell receptors are taking me back to that place. It's a bit like fresh cut grass. So a smell, you know, when I used to have an association when I would smell gravel, it would remind me of a petrol station, because the petrol stations I grew up were always like kind of dirt and gravel. So whenever I smelt that, I always felt like I was back in the petrol station. So, you know, that's what our smell receptors do, right? They just take us back to this place. And so vetiver, which I was talking about just before, cedarwood and patchouli, they're really stabilizing, centering oils. So there's some really beautiful ones you can kind of add into your sleep routine to play around with more so. Now these other oils that I'm mentioning are very optional, very, very optional. I have a pretty large collection of oils, and I can say the oils that live in this box, which are my Home Essentials kit oils. So oils like, you know, peppermint and lemon and tea tree and oregano, frankincense, digestin, you know, those oils I use every day, literally. I then have my mood kit, which sits in here. So my lavender peace, my balance, my elevation, and my citrus bliss. They are the second group of oils that I use every day. There's a couple of extras in my kit, just personal favorites. So I've got grapefruit. My Roman chamomile lives in this box. I've got wild orange, mostly because I take it to classes a lot. My manuka's in there because I've been using that a lot. I've got Litsea in there at the moment because obviously it's a free oil this month. I've got Purify in there, but that's only because I don't normally have Purify in here. I've normally got oils like Past Tense, my Salubel, Claricalm, which we'll talk about. I thought we wouldn't even talk for that long, and I've been going for an hour and a half. So balance. Balance is the grounding blend. That is what it is called, the grounding blend. And so it is a beautiful bluey green coloured oil. It's divine. It's the oil that you smell and you instantaneously just go, ah. And so that's the difference between our invigorating and uplifting oils. We smell them and we go, ah, you know, like that really elevating, uplifting, raise your shoulders, smile on your face. The grounding blend really just makes you go, ah, back to center, back to center. Brings the anxiety down, just calms everything down. This is one of my favorite oils to dress myself in daily, and I love to mix it with a bit of citrus bliss or grapefruit or orange. This is also another really beautiful oil to make as a perfume with something like Whisper. So this has got some really beautiful oils in it, like spruce, hoe wood, blue tansy, blue chamomile, osmanthus. It does have fractionated coconut oil in it, so you can use this straight from the bottle. It's got frankincense as well. So that's a really beautiful oil. You can put it in your bath. You can obviously apply this to your body. You cannot take this internally. And in fact, none of these oils that I'm talking about, the 4 oils in the mood kit, you cannot take any of them internally. So they're purely for aromatic, so inhaling or applying topically to your body. So diffuse, under the nose, face, body, room mist. Apply to your body, use as a perfume. Apply to your feet or your spine if you want that kind of topical application without it being more as a, you know, instantaneous perfume smell. So balance. We'll wind up, guys. This has gone much longer than I was expecting. It's been really beautiful. So it's a combination of tree oils and roots. So trees live in the present moment. They are not in a hurry. They are stable. The soft energy of balance is excellent for calming overactive children who have difficulty settling down. So that really, like, you know, anxious, tense feeling just really stabilizes. It's a wonderful remedy for adults who need to reconnect with their roots. Suited for personalities who seek to escape life through disconnection. People who avoid long-term commitments in relationships, or people who like to drift. It teaches us to stay in the present moment. It provides inner strength and fortitude. It teaches us to ground our energy and to manifest with our vision with the patience of a tree. What does a tree do? They're rock solid. You know, the branches flap around and move, but the tree stands still. Close that up. So that is truly one of my all-time favorite blends, Balance. It's one that I use like daily. It's so beautiful. Lucky Last, Lavender Peace. Because it is bedtime, it is a beautiful one to end on. Now, what I will say is that I have made a bit of a resource book, and actually this talk has gone a little bit sideways. So I'm actually going to edit the resource book to add in some of the stuff we've talked about. So for those of you who have registered to attend this webinar, you will receive that resource book in your emails tomorrow. And if you're lucky, I might add it up in the group. Now, Lavender Peace is our restful blend. Now, sleep. Let's be serious. Sleep is really fucking important. If we are not rested, if we don't get enough sleep, we cannot function. So using essential oils to support your sleep is super important. Now, our circadian rhythm, most of us, is probably all over the place. We sleep with blackout blinds in our bedroom. We do have one really short window that doesn't have one, and it lets a really small amount of light in, more from the moon, which is actually fine. But it's nice to wake up in the morning knowing that it's daylight. Oh, now Lavender Peace is obviously a blend that has lavender in it. It's not as florally as lavender on its own. It has a hint of vanilla, so it's got a bit of a sweetness to it. I find those people who don't like lavender generally are okay with this blend. So it's a combination of lavender, cedarwood, hoe wood, marjoram, vetiver, Roman chamomile, ylang ylang, and vanilla and sandalwood. So there's some really nice woody, earthy tones in this blend. So it's going to really help to calm. It's going to really help to stabilize and center and ground us. It's really beautiful and supportive for deep, restful sleep. Yeah, I love Lavender Peace too. I use this in my son's diffuser every single night. Generally on its own, on a normal occasion. On the non-normal occasions, I will generally add 1 drop of frankincense. Sometimes I add 1 drop of vetiver, maybe 2. I might add 2 drops of cedarwood, I play around with those combinations. At the moment in my son's diffuser for the last few nights, I've been putting 4 drops of lavender, just plain single lavender, 2 drops of juniper berry, and I've been putting 2 drops of balance, because he's just needed a bit of extra grounding and centering. So juniper berry is the oil of the night. It's great for kind of night terrors and nightmares and any of those night things that happen. He's been teething as well. Tonight, however, I put 4 drops of lavender, 2 drops of juniper berry, and 2 drops of white fir. So we'll see how that goes tonight. Lavender peace and balance is a really beautiful blend. So if you've got older kids that go to school, lavender peace or balance all together is a really nice blend of an afternoon when homework and tea is done and everyone's off in their showers just getting ready to just knock everyone down a few pegs, just calm everyone's farm. These are some really beautiful oils to pop in the diffusers or diffuser, so you've got one, to just really bring everybody down. I love to pop this in my diffuser when I go into my room to have a shower. So I pop it in the diffuser, I have a shower. When I come out to get dressed, the room is just really, it's beautiful. In fact, I have a mist in my son's bedroom of lavender peace, and I spray it around his room, over his cot, over his chair, because I still breastfeed him at night time. And then I pop his diffuser on usually when he's getting in the shower, because he pretty much has a shower, gets in his pajamas and goes, straight for feeding in bed. So those two together are the ultimate combination. If you have any children who experience or suffer from things like major anxiety, attention deficit disorder, or hyperactivity, ODD, for children who may be on the spectrum, these are some really beautiful oils that you can help to support them. There's been some really beautiful kind of outcomes we're seeing with our families, and so that's really lovely. These are great to put in a roller together, so making up a roller blend with lavender peace, balance, and vetiver, so a bit of extra vetiver as well. And then you can roll that up your spine, behind your neck, on your feet. If you've got children, you can put it on their feet or up their spine. I quite often put it here as well, because then I feel like I get a bit of extra smell. I do tend to put lavender on my pillow, plain lavender, just a drop on my pillow, sometimes 2, 1 on each side. So that's really beautiful. So lavender peace, you can use it obviously anytime throughout the day. Some people may like plain lavender, some people like lavender peace more, so it's really a personal preference. As I say, lavender peace has that slightly sweeter scent because it's got the hint of vanilla. I love to just hold it under my nose and inhale it when I'm just feeling a bit flighty and a bit heady. So the Restful blend, which is lavender peace, called Serenity in the US. So if you see things around Serenity, it's lavender peace here in Australia. It has a powerful effect on the mind and heart. It is uniquely calming and invites individuals to relinquish feelings of stress, anxiety, and overwhelm. It supports those who struggle with an overactive mind and inability to unwind. So if that is you, you're going to bed and your mind's just non-stop, put it in your diffuser or put a drop on your pillow. If you are not out like a light, I will eat my hat. The nights that I put that on my pillow, I fall asleep quickly. I have a deep, restful sleep and I wake up feeling pretty good, even if I've had to get up in the night. So I feel better because I've had a deeper, more restful sleep. It really is pretty special. It helps to quieten the mind, release agitation, and invites calm. That's probably all I need to say about that oil. What else does it say? It invites those who feel out of balance and allow time for space for true renewal. It's a really nice one to have a nice massage at night after a shower, so to aromatically dress yourself before bed. It brings a sense of tranquility that allows space for personal reflection, peace, and healing. How beautiful. So positive properties are calm, tranquil, can't talk at this late hour, peaceful, relaxed, compassionate, and connected. Super beautiful, right? So they are the 4 oils that I wanted to talk to you about that I think we've probably covered off about 20, but that's okay. So for those of you who are new to essential oils or new to doTERRA, I would recommend if mood management is something that is your kind of primary draw card to essential oils, that you purchase the mood kit. The mood kit is really the kit that is tailored to targeting those for you. So that is 4 oils. So I've customized and made a mood kit, which is a diffuser. The 4 oils, I would also suggest that you purchase a fractionated coconut oil. So I will pop all of the information around that in my email to you with the tools and resources. I'll pop some information below as well. If you have any questions, you can let me know. Obviously, you may like to look into some of the high vibrational oils. So what I'm going to do is go back into the resource book that I've made and add in just some additional oils that will help to raise your vibration. So we talked a bit about Salubel. We talked a bit about frankincense. And obviously, rose is coming out in October. And then there's helichrysum and melissa as well. Some other really beautiful oils that you might like to look at. I would suggest lavender on its own, but you do have the lavender piece. Clary sage is really beautiful. Bergamot, so bergamot is both calming and uplifting, so that's a really beautiful combination. Something like vetiver, cedarwood, or patchouli has that really stabilizing, grounding. So depending on the additional oils you purchase, you might want to just purchase, 1 or 2 down the track. Start with these. These 4 beautiful oils are all that you need. Honestly, they will provide tremendous support for you all the way. So I would suggest you just start with the basic mood kit with the diffuser, which is the kit that I've put together, and go from there. I will also link in some information about the Loyalty Rewards program, and that is the program where we would support you to, 1, earn points back on the oils that you purchase. There's no commitment, there's no lock-in. While you are on the program, you need to make a purchase each month. And so that is where you could start to accumulate your oils like bergamot, clary sage, your frankincense, Salubel, rose, etc. And you'll need to replenish these over time. So if you have any questions, please pop them below in the comments. If you have a specific topic that you would be really interested in learning about, I would love to hear from you. And thank you for those of you who have been watching. We've been going for 1 hour and 40 minutes, and I'm so grateful for your time. And so I can't wait to support you, and I look forward to hearing from any of you who want to chat. If anybody needs support, 1 in choosing oils, 1 in getting yourself a wholesale account, or just in using your oils, please, let me put my ear out, please reach out, because I'd love to hear from you. So I will sign off now, and yeah, thanks for logging on, guys. It means the world, and let's all raise our vibration, lift our mood, use our beautiful oils to help us do that, and share them with someone who we think would really benefit from managing their mood. That would be really beautiful as well.